This diver saved a small, helpless dolphin, which caused incredible delight and exclamations of approval from all eyewitnesses of the incident. Back then, people had no idea that something terrible was hiding nearby. In the heart of the Caribbean Sea, amongst sun-drenched sandy beaches, lies the small town of Coral Cove. Brian had long lived in this tropical paradise, having become one of the best scuba diving guides here. That day, there were still a few hours before the arrival of tourists, so Brian decided to swim alone in a place where people rarely appear, and the underwater world never ceases to amaze with its fabulous beauty. The diver enjoyed another great day in the company of beautiful, colorful fish and other marine life. However, the beautiful moment in solitude did not last long. As soon as the man heard excited shouts from a small group of tourists on the shore, Brian swam a little closer and saw that the tourists were pointing at sharp rocks nearby and shouting something in a language he didn't recognize. Sensing trouble, the diver quickly swam towards the rocks and soon heard a squeak of distress. The experienced swimmer immediately recognized them as the cries of a dolphin, and when he reached the rocks, he saw that it was a small baby dolphin, which was stuck on the rocks and could not get out of its terrible captivity. Brian, carefully trying not to hurt the baby on the sharp rocks, pulled it out of the rocks and returned it to the sea. The baby dolphin squealed joyfully, made several large circles around the diver, and with a provocative swing of its tail, disappeared into the vast expanse of the sea. Brian smiled, pleased that the baby did not get seriously injured on the sharp rocks, and was about to return to his research when suddenly that same baby dolphin appeared nearby again. Knowing the mischievous temperament of these creatures, the diver decided that the animal just wanted to play with him and decided to spend some more time with the pup. But the baby dolphin behaved strangely, starting to swim around the man in circles again, and then swam in the same direction as the first time. Brian guessed that the baby was waiting for him to follow, and he accelerated to keep up with the swift sea creature. So the two swam quite a considerable distance, and Brian was already pretty tired and began to regret that he got involved in this adventure. The diver climbed out of the water and looked around to see that they were in a small cove where people almost never appeared. It was all the more surprising to see an unfamiliar vessel here, which was clearly a large fishing boat, except that any commercial fishing was strictly forbidden in these places because of the coral reefs, with the rarest flora and fauna. So it was definitely poachers. Trying not to be seen by the violators, Brian continued to follow the dolphin cautiously underwater until he saw large fishing nets in the water near the unfamiliar vessel. These nets had already caught a lot of very rare and valuable fish. But most importantly, an adult dolphin was entangled in them and could not get free. Brian immediately rushed to the dolphin's aid and carefully cut all the nets entangling its body. In the process of rescue, the diver realized that before him was a female dolphin, and the same baby dolphin constantly swam near her, which means that she was probably his mother. Brian helped the dolphin to free herself, after which she shouted happily, thanking the man for his generosity, and disappeared into the depths with her pup. Only now did Brian realize that it was not in vain that the baby dolphin ended up on the rocks. He tried to ask for help for his mother from tourists who were on the shore, but in the end, he himself got stuck among the rocks. Luckily, an experienced diver was nearby and was able to rescue the brave baby dolphin and his mom. Brian then made it to shore where he immediately called the Coast Guard before the poachers could escape. The police arrived very quickly, without giving the violators the opportunity to come to their senses and start the engines of their boat. The criminals were caught red-handed, and the officers thanked the diver for his assistance and asked him to help free the marine life that had become entangled in the poachers' nets. The whole day flew by, but Brian had no regrets because today he was able to save many precious lives.